Hello, I'm Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American contributor for Buddhist Global. Thanks for joining me for this episode of The Ordinary Buddhist. The title of today's Dharma talk is Digging in the Dirt. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. One thing I've learned over the years is that there will always be weeds in the garden. Doesn't matter how carefully you prep the beds in the spring, how much mulch you put down around the vegetables, weeds will always appear. It's just the nature of the beast. So, if one wants to grow vegetables, they must be careful and they must be willing to get down in the dirt on a fairly regular basis and pull out all the weeds. Otherwise, they'll choke out the vegetables and there won't be a crop for that season. So, that's what I did today. I spent a lot of time crawling around in the garden beds, pulling up weeds by the roots, filled up more than one 5-gallon bucket with them, and then dumped them in a back pasture. And afterwards, I was kind of filthy. My arms from my fingertips all the way up to my elbows, covered in dirt. Again, just comes with the territory. However, the garden beds were looking pretty good. The vegetables looked happy, and after I gave them a fresh layer of mulch to at least slow down the growth of new weeds, things were looking pretty good. The fact is, in order to be successful in the garden, we have to be willing to do that. We have to be willing to get up into our elbows in the dirt, pull the weeds out, search them out, as unpleasant as that might be, and make room for the vegetables to grow. But this isn't just true of gardening, it's also true of spiritual practice. In Buddhism, we're taught that our defilements are the cause of much of our suffering. The defilements, the primary ones, being greed, anger, and ignorance. Every source of human suffering can be traced back to one of those defilements or a combination of those three. So if we're willing to sit on the cushion, to study the sutras, to practice our chanting, and our prostrations, what happens is we get down into the dirt of our minds. We pull out the weeds and we make room for the vegetables, kindness, wisdom, generosity, to grow. Now, as long as we have minds, we will always have defilements. In the same way that if we have a garden, we will always have weeds. It's just the nature of the beast. But if we're willing to dig in the dirt, if we're willing to get down on our hands and knees and pull out the weeds from our mind, we'll end suffering not just for ourselves, but also for others. Amitabha.